It's that easy. Hey everyone, I hope you're good. So the OPXY versus the MPC sample. So this isn't as extravagant as you may think, and as wild as it may be a comparison, because they share quite a lot of similar things. So I thought I'd do a video about it because they own both devices. So first of all, of course, they're both ultra portables. They both have onboard speakers, pretty good ones as well. They both have rechargeable batteries. Pretty good battery life in both. The OPXY has an insane amount of battery life. They both have song mode. They both resample. And of course, they both can chop. Let's have a look. So I have the same breaker on both devices. Maybe I should do a shift and full level as we get full volume. And of course on the OPXY. So identical breaks, how can these face off with the chopping? So I'm going to start with the OPXY because chopping was the latest addition to this. It's been a while. People have been wanting it, and even I was thinking, what are they going to put in it? How are they going to implement it? And they've done a really elegant way of doing it, to be honest. And I think it's really, really cool. So here's your break. Okay, so really simple. I can literally hold it, let it finish, and I get the option to slice it. So slice, copy, paste, and select. Now the old way was doing multiple versions and then trimming it, like almost too old school, and having different versions of it, variations, and then trimming the kick, snare, the shuffle, all that kind of stuff. This is great that we've done it. So you hold the trigger, or the step, should I say, step components is how it works on here. So hold the step, and I just press slice, and you can see there instantly. It's there, instantly. Really, really good. Really, really good. But there's more to this. So I can see on the top left-hand side here, it says transient. But if you use this dark grey knob, the first knob here, you can actually choose to have it by even amount of chopping, or even have it tap chopping. So tap chopping is what the MPC world is about with the lazy chop. Really, really good. So I can actually do this. Yep. So I might want to get a vibe for it and work out where the chops are. Simply just place the tap wherever you want the chop. Pretty much exactly the same as lazy chop. So watch this. And you can see all the pads are being populated. Really, really good. I like that. I really like that. So they've implemented it really well. And of course, you can actually then choose to go, for instance, back out of tap mode, you can cancel, and you can go back to the original loop. I do like that. Now on the MPC, we got it here. So you've seen my video, so you know all about the chopping. But if you don't know about the chopping, there's an actually dedicated chop mode. So that's really good. If you ever want to chop a breakup or any program material, vocals, anything, riffs, straight to the chop mode, you can see there. Now there's multiple types of chop modes in the MPC. So just like the OPXY, but check this out. Instantly, it's giving me the chops there, but I can fully customize these chops. And of course, in the OPXY, I can actually change the trim points, and we can do that on the MPC anyway, but I want to show the types of chopping that you can do. So, perfect. But now if I go here to this third encoder, which is K3, you get to see the different types of chop. So if we go to the very first one, you get to see like the chop type, which is like obviously regions that it's choosing. I go to the next one, I can choose like 4 regions that it's choosing from. The next one from here, I can go to 8 regions, and then all the way to 16 regions, and then all the way to manual chop as well. So that's really good. But it also has lazy chop in this as well. So like this. By the way, before I start this, you have to make sure that you're not in note mode. Note mode's like where it holds the pad however you want to press it. That'll release a sample. So it's good for doing like one-shot kind of kits and stuff, but because it's a whole sample and I want it to play and I want to chop where I'm choosing to chop, you obviously can't. When you can, but it's going to be really tricky. So it's best to just go to shift and make sure that your note on is off, note off, so you can play like that. And then obviously treble stop to stop it all. And then you just do this. You just choose whatever pad you want to chop it with. And then there you have it. It's that easy. So yeah, so they both have the lazy chop, but I think the MPC one is definitely for the win here. But I mean, MPC have had this for years, and it's their thing. But I think the OPXY, the way they've implemented it, is really, really good. Okay, so you have your chops. Now, what about sequencing those chops? Let's have a look at that. Okay, so sequencing the chops. This is really cool the way OPXY does it now. So, of course, we have all the chops. So with OPXY, there's multiple ways of sequencing these chops now. So for instance, the most obvious one would be to do real-time recording. So your whole recording, you press play, it's waiting, but there's two ways of real-time recording. It's waiting for me to start the trigger so I can real-time play. So for instance, that's one way of doing it, which is also cool. But the next way of doing it, if I take all the step components off, because that's each step can be whatever you want it to be. Each could be each slice and multiple and otherwise, and you have full control over that as well as being able to visually see it on the bar, which I really like. And of course, in the pattern mode, you can have multiple patterns. I think it's 9 per bank to do that. So for that side of things, it's very flexible, and I like the fact of being able to see things, to see what you're doing. I think that's really, really important. Okay. So second way is to do the proper real-time recording. So it's playing, and I might want the metronome for this. So I'm going to go to the dedicated metronome, which is cool. You can see it clicking there. Turn it on. Records on. And that's it. Recording now. Hang on, that snare. There's a snare. Okay, let's go again. That metronome is bugging me now. And obviously I can pitch certain snares. If I go here to the engine. And of course, then I can naturally also lengthen the bar as well by literally just going to bar mode and pressing plus. You can see the MIDI notes as well, which I kind of like to see that what you're doing. I can go plus, I can duplicate the bar across now. Sorry, let me do that again. So I can go back to here, I can go to shift and plus, and that duplicates the bar across. And the next bar I might want to change something, so on bar 2. So that's the second way of doing it. So there's actually really good ways of getting the patterns down. So if I just go back to one bar again and remove these step components, like that, so just get one bar of this. The third way of doing this is actually just going like this. So for instance, I can go to shift and plus, no, it's to do this. So I can go to record and hold record, and I can actually then choose to do step recording input, which the MC does really well, which I'll show you in a minute. So I can say kick, it's like a pitch kick, who cares? I can go to the plus sign and miss a step. I miss a step, snare, miss a step, kick, miss a step, shuffle, shuffle, kick. I don't know how it's going to sound, but let's see. This is just live. By the way, it's so hot in the studio, you wouldn't believe it. It's like the UK is having a heat wave. So it's already nearly 30 degrees outside. In here, it's 30 degrees no matter what, even when there's no plugs plugged in. So anyway, that's why I'm sweating. So yeah, so that's really good. So that's like your multiple ways of putting your steps in. Of course, then obviously, the fourth way is the simple way, really. So for instance, if I go to back to 0, and get the normal pitch back. It actually sounded quite good that I probably should have saved it, but who cares? So normal pitch back. So the original way is to just then literally just draw them in. So that's a kick, snare, hi-hat, give some hi-hats, gives another kick there, and some hats there. Let me take that one out, put a shuffle there. I'll take that one off as well. So it's easy to really recreate the loop as well, because obviously if you were recreating the loop, you would just then literally just go to that recording mode and just put all the steps in on the components and build the whole loop up like that. So that's the old way of working on drum machines, where you can actually recreate a loop. That's chops. I think Electron does it quite well, where you can actually then put the steps and recreate them. Basically, linear locks is what is kind of showing there. Okay, so coming to the MPC sample, as far as chopping is concerned, there's two ways I like to do it on this, and there's two ways it can be done. There's actually three ways. If you use shift and sequence, you go to step edit, go through the timeline. Let me take knob effects off. You go through the timeline, and then there might be a step there that you add. If I go to record, I add a step. I can then go through the step like that, and I can use the fader to then nudge the step. But because I'm using chops and the chops are allocated to one pad, this is how I like to do it. So I'm going to go to sequence, I'm going to go erase sequence, clear it. We want the tempo back to 176, which is where it was at originally, because I've gone back to a default sequence here. Back to sample mode, back to chop. Right, really good. So I'm going to use these pads here, because it's literally just looping the same section of beats here. So I've only got to kind of play 8 pads. This is the way I would do it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure is you're in sequence mode and you're on 1/8. So what that means is it's 1/8 quantize, so it's going to snap to 1/8. If you have 16s and 32s, as you play faster, it's going to be really hard to control that. So it's going to sound really messy, and the MPC sample is going to try and use its resolution to quantize it to that step. It doesn't work for drum bass. It really doesn't. If you're trying to play fast, so don't be scared of fast finger drumming. You know, there's two ways of changing that. You can go to tap tempo here and half the tempo. So you go like 88 beats per minute, 89 beats per minute, and then play it at your own tempo. And the 1/8 quantize will snap it to the bar, which is what you want. But you can also do that at that tempo as well, as I'll show you. Because it's on 1/8 and I'm only using 8 pads, it works really well. Watch this. So sample mode, chops on. I'm on 1/8 quantize. I'm just going to go straight in. It's that easy. Also, what's cool is because it's no polyphony in the MPC sample as currently as yet, and every note will cut each other off like a choke group. It means can't play 2 notes at the same time, but that works in our favour, because now I can actually easily overdub like this. So that works really, really well as well. If I go to sequence and I erase that sequence and I go back to there, back to chop mode, obviously tempo I'm going to change to 176. I could have undone that, by the way. I just want to show you how quickly it is to get the ideas down and the setup down. So in here, chop mode, the other way obviously is to just do real time. Get an idea down. Something like that. Maybe put some shuffles in there, stop that for a second. That's what I want. That's really good. So you can keep overdubbing and building up rhythms, and that works in its favour. To be honest, the no polyphony thing and the note on choke group already ready to go, especially for overdubbing chops. Because you're never going to make it messy. That combined with 1/8 sequence timing, quantized timing on your sequence, means that you can't really mess up either. You can it'll always keep snapping back. Imagine it visually, like in the Cubase, for instance, when I show you the Cubase tutorials. In the grid edit window, the key editor window, you can actually see it when you're chopping the notes in half, 16s, 32s, 64s, or backwards here, 4ths, 8ths. You can actually see the size of the notes, and that's all you're doing is you're snapping it back to the 8ths, 16ths, 32s, and it really helps with your timing, especially if you want to do like real-time playing. And of course, this is drum and bass, so this is like the maximum tempo I would probably use, 176. Okay, to wrap it up, there you go. The difference is, it depends on what you want. Now, so the big talking point about the MPC sample, the polyphony and chords, they're not in there. But as of the new update, you can expand it into the MPC ecosystem, the software, where you get access to everything. You get access to chords, you get access to scales, VST instruments, more effects, all that kind of stuff, and you can intertwine them, swap them. Of course, stuff's going to be missing from the software, bringing it back to the sample, but you can go from the sample to the software very easily and open up a whole new world of things. Now, as far as the OPXY is concerned, it's a self-contained system. Literally is only drag and drop from your desktop to the hard drive. I think it's 5 gig on here, and that's it. But 5 gig is an awful lot of samples. Trust me, from this world, it's fine. And the MPC sample, of course, SD cards, you can just keep going with that. They go up to like half a terabyte now, terabyte. I wouldn't trust a terabyte SD card in any type of software, any type of hardware imaginable. But there you go. So the main differences really for me are the expanding upon that, chopping, expanding upon sequencing, expanding upon effects. They have all these kind of things, but then when you want to go a little bit deeper, you want to be more musical, chords, scales, automation, parameter locking. That's where the OPXY excels, and that's why I think people want it, because it does that much deeper thing. I think the song modes are really quite related. I've done a video. I'll put it up somewhere. I hope you can check it. The last video that I did, where I go in depth on the song mode on the OPXY, and you can see it's really similar, to be honest. The only good thing about the OPXY song mode is you can actually see where your triggers are for the actual parts of the song. You can rearrange them on the fly, like a phone number. Course 1, 2, 3, 4, mix them around, as well as shuffle through the timeline. But you can also do that on the MPC sample as well. You can actually see all your actual sequences. If you look at my other videos there, you can see the song mode is really in depth. It's so easy to get a song down. So I think they're both quite matched on that concept. Anyway, enough talking, enough waffle. I hope that's some information for you. If you want to see more shootouts, let me know. And until then, if you're in the UK, enjoy the sunshine. I'm sure it won't last much longer, but and if you're at home chilling, making beats, happy beat making, have a great weekend. Until next time, peace.